What's going on, everyone? So, Jovan Buha said the Lakers are banking on the health of Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent to bolster their team. He also followed up by saying, as things stands, the Lakers are preaching patience, that the right trade will eventually materialize, while betting that healthier versions of Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent, the additions of Connect, Dalton Connect, and the promotion of Max Christie, into the rotation will shore up the group's perimeter defense, athleticism, and shooting. So, I want to not so much talk about the trade stuff, I want to talk about the specific players. And let's start with Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent. Now, the general idea and consensus is that, hey, adding these two guys will immediately bolster the defense. They were looked at as two guys that were supposed to lead the charge, particularly on the defensive side. We saw Jared Vanderbilt start getting into the swing of things before he got hurt again. Things were looking up on the defense side. Gabe Vincent, right, didn't really give us much on the offensive side when he came back from injury, but defensively, you saw, like, man, if these two were healthy the entirety of the season, they really could have made an impact, right? Now, whatever ends up happening on the trade front, we'll see how that plays out. But in a sort of glance, yes, Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent would absolutely make the Lakers better defensively. Right? Lakers are like a middle of the pack team with just Anthony Davis. We saw healthy Jared Vanderbilt plus Anthony Davis equals one of the best defenses in the league, because it's not so much that Jared Vanderbilt is one of, if not the best on-ball defenders, it's the ground in which he covers, right? Like, we've made jokes and talked and laughed in various live streams and stuff like that, where, we've broken down like how it looks at times like he teleports. It's like Goku out there, just, instant transmission all over the basketball court. And it's so impressive. And you pair that with Anthony Davis and his ability to cover as much ground as he covers on the defensive side. Now you have somebody basically controlling 15 in and somebody else controlling 15 out. And it's just the impact in which they have. Jared Vanderbilt also impacts the game beyond just the defensive side. He's not looked at as this offensive piece that, just is going to generate all this offensive points. But he is a guy that does impact the game offensively, but not in the traditional sense of like his ability to shoot the three ball and all that stuff. No, in the sense of creating live ball turnovers, creating turnovers in general, right? Keeping balls alive on the rebounding end, securing defensive rebounds. Like, all of these things lead to more opportunities for the Lakers, which lead to more shot attempts, which lead to more opportunity to raise the point total on the offensive side. Gabe Vincent can provide very similar things in that element, to where if he is healthy, his ability to defend the guard position and be able to just create, again, turnovers and get stops and help on that side. And then hopefully Gabe Vincent can get back to being at least serviceable from the three-point line. Be able to consistently knock down the three ball, even if he's not 40+%, but even just respectively, right? Can he knock down 38% from three or 37% from three, right? His defensive impact as well as his three-point shooting just goes a long way. And it allows you to now put these two out there at times when you need stops and when you need things generated. Right? And it's not now all on Anthony Davis, right? Even as the team is currently constructed, you can put a defensive lineup out there you could even go with Cam Red. Like, you could, offensively, there would be concerns, but say late in the game, you need to get a stop, right? You could go Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis, right? And that's a good defensive unit. That's got versatility. It's got size, it's length. Now, more likely than not, that lineup will probably never see the basketball court. But again, it shows that the type of individual defenders that you have. I do believe that these two guys would have made a significant impact last year. Obviously, we were all kind of waiting around for Jared Vanderbilt to be healthy. And the idea was like, hey, if this guy gets healthy, we're back to being a contender. And then Gabe Vincent, there was this genuine excitement when we added him, right? I even talked about how, yes, he's not the athlete that Dennis Schroeder is in the past, but he's more consistent at what he does. Where Dennis Schroeder, particularly on the offense side, like, you don't know what you're going to get from Schroeder at times, right? Like, one game you might get, 21 points and he's like, 5 of 7 from 3 and all that. And then the next game you might get, 2 points and he's 1 of 11 from 3. And it's just like the roller coaster ride that is Dennis Schroeder, where I thought, the upside of Schroeder is higher, but Gabe Vincent gives you more consistency. Game in and game out, you know what you're going to get from him. And his ability to shoot and play off of LeBron is just better than Dennis Schroeder. He makes more sense in a sort of vacuum, fit-wise, right? And so that was the idea. So I do think that these two guys definitely bolster the rotation, the lineup in general, if they can stay healthy. But here's the thing. Just because, one, you can never really base things on health one way or another because you don't really know. These guys could play all 82 games. These guys could play 2 games. Like, you don't know, right? But you have an idea of like, hey, injuries happen throughout the course of a season, and there is no guarantee that these guys are going to be consistently healthy. I mean, Jared Vanderbilt has dealt with injuries pretty much his career, and he's still rehabbing that. So what is the impact on that regard, right? How is he able to stay healthy on the basketball court? Is he able to play a big role? We'll see. Time will tell. Same thing with Gabe Vincent. I mean, look, Kendrick Nunn is a great example. We thought he just wasn't the same. Now, look, he's out of the league, right? So, again, hopefully that these two can stay healthy, keep it together. But let's talk about Dalton Connect, and then we'll close it out with Max Christie. So, Dalton Connect, based on what we've seen, should immediately make an impact on this team. He has the tools. He has the capabilities. We saw his ability to continue to make plays for others, his ability to create his own shot, his ability to beat guys off the dribble, his ability to obviously shoot the 3 ball, catch a shoot. On the surface, Dalton Connect should immediately be a ready-made basketball player. But it doesn't always work out that way, right? How much, even if he is, how much of a role are you going to consistently play Dalton Connect game in and game out, right? Even if he is ready to ball out immediately, right? Like, is he eventually going to move into your starting 3? Is he going to play over Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura? Is he going to play over Max Christie? And, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's questions about, even if he is ready and is able to make an impact, where does he slot in and fit immediately? And are you able to justify him over some of the other guys? Now, if he's just that great, right? If he's like a 15-point-a-game guy and it's like, man, you got to keep this guy out there, then that's one thing. But I think realistically, that's a little much to expect from him, right? I think, he's probably closer to like a 15-minute-a-game guy. And, he's probably giving you 6 to 8 points a game. Maybe he gets you to double figures. That would be nice, right? But you also, as a rookie, don't want to put too much pressure on him. Hey, if he's ready, he's ready. And if he can play a big role, then let him play a big role. But you don't want to become overly reliant on a rookie that's going to just naturally have his ups and downs, that is just naturally going to have his hiccups and his feeling out period over the course of a season, right? Like, there's a reason rookies don't really lead teams to a championship, right? Like, you have Magic is somebody that comes to mind, but like, he had other major key pieces, right? But I'm not saying you can't rely on a rookie, but to be, one of your top 6 rotation guys, unless you're front and 5 are just that great. You look at a team like Denver when they won, right? But, even then, it was like Christian Brown is not playing heavy minutes. It's just kind of in spots, right? But he had his issues. He had his concerns, right? You even just go through some of these teams that have had rookies expected to have big impacts in the playoffs. They're inconsistent. But I do think that even if he's great out the gate, right, which shouldn't be expected, you should expect him to kind of take time to adjust to the speed and the physicality and just the pace of the game, right? He's going to have to make those adjustments. He's going to have to figure those things out probably on the fly, right? It's one thing to play in summer league and all this. It's another thing when you're actually in the big leagues now, right? So it may take him, a quarter of the season to really kind of get into the swing of things. And even then, it's like, how much can you truly rely on him? I mean, even Austin Reeves, it took a year before he really started to make really a year and a half before he was really able to start making those strides. Now, again, I'm not saying he can't. I'm never going to put a limit on somebody, especially somebody that we don't know, right? Because we haven't actually seen him play. But I also can't be foolish enough to have these star expectations for a guy right out the gate. So I do believe he will have an impact. Will he have an impact to the scale in which even he replaces Taurean Prince's production or something like that? That I don't know. He's kind of the big question mark. And in a lot of ways, so is Max Christie. Right? Now, Max Christie, you have a little more sample size. You have a little more understanding of what he is and what he's capable of. Right? He's excellent defensively. I mean, seriously, go look up some of his advanced metrics on the defense side of things. Like, he's very good in that regard. I mean, some of those defensive assignments, like, he was defending Book and Dame and guys like, and was just doing excellent, right? He still is young. He gambles at times and, needs better discipline, but that comes, right? But you also got to get him the opportunity and allow him to play out there on the basketball court. He's a guy that can be a legit 3-and-D guy out the gate, give you some athleticism, give you some versatility out on the perimeter, right? Like, the thought process with these guys is not wrong, right? It's just you're relying on youthful talent that does not have the resume yet. That is a bit of a mystery. Right, and Max Christie and Dalton Connect. Again, Max Christie, you've seen him start in games and play big minutes and play big roles in some of these games. But can he do that consistently game in and game out, and he's your top 6th or 7th guy in the rotation? That I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, like, he's 40% on catch shoot threes first 2 years in the league. That's a good sign. It means that he's probably going to maintain that. And then, but can he consistently create for himself, consistently create for others, consistently knock down at an efficient clip? Is he able to stay engaged, locked in and focused, and be better disciplined on the defensive side, right? But even if you look at like Gabe, Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt, right, the more veteran guys that are proven, right, even they are limited, right? Defensively, yes, they're great, but Jared Vanderbilt, unless he just magically develops a three-point shot, is a bit of a liability. He's one-dimensional. Gabe Vincent is not this like lights-out three-point shooter, right? He's very inconsistent in that regard as well. Again, a little more one-dimensional. So you're banking on 2 one-dimensional guys, and you're banking on 2 young guys to really have a significant impact. Maybe they do, right? I definitely think that we would be better than we would be otherwise. But are they enough to kind of supplement some of the issues last year? I do think you add in those factors with J.J. Redick as the head coach, and you start putting everything together. I do think that now maybe that does. But it's going to be interesting, right? I expect Max Christie to... I see him anywhere from another, 15-minute-a-game guy to a legit like 25 plus minute a game guy. Like, I either think that he's going to take that next step, take those strides to where it's like, man, this guy is just so good on both sides of the basketball. Like, he's knocking down three with, like, I either think he's going to be that legit 3-and-D guy that solidifies himself, and it's like, okay, you got to do what you can to keep him on the basketball court, or I think he's a guy that, you know, is just kind of game to game, kind of has his ebbs and flows, right? So we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you have concerns? Do you not? Do you think that these four guys can really make an impact for the Lakers this upcoming season? Do you think, nah, you know, it's just kind of going to be more of the same? I feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.